Hey everyone, my name is John and I own a little company called Rad Relics, and we sell on eBay and have a brick and mortar pop culture shop, and we have been doing this for a long time. And one of the things that I like to do as a hobby is I like to make these YouTube videos. And I am making a YouTube video tonight about a really interesting article that I read on e-commerce Bytes. And we're going to discuss it. We're going to read it together, and I'm going to give my thoughts on it. And I think it's pretty interesting. I don't know what you guys think, but if you want, you're more than welcome to go down below and leave me a comment in the old comment section. And this is a waypoint in this video that if you want to save the game, you are more than welcome to go down and hit that subscribe button. What a great time. So we're going to jump right into this video, and we're going to click over here on this article, and it is eBay Ethics 101, destroy items to raise their prices. Okay, so what we're going to do here is I'm going to read through this article and we're going to get my thoughts on it. Sometimes I don't even know what I'm thinking until I think it, so this should be pretty interesting. We're going to start. It says, a recent story making the rounds touches on a polarizing argument in antiques and collectibles. Can you create scarcity of an item by purposely destroying all but a few, thereby boosting the prices of the remaining items? Perhaps a better question is, should you? So the question is this a moral or ethical dilemma by taking items that are already scarce and destroying the items and having just a few excellent examples of these items and then destroying essentially the competition so that your items can be worth way more? What an interesting concept. I mean, I've never even thought about doing that. I've been accused of destroying stuff before, like cutting keys off of typewriters. I actually made a video about that one time, and I got crucified by the typewriter community. Yes, that is a thing. There is a typewriter community out there. I don't understand it. But they said by me destroying the typewriters that it will make them more scarce and harder to find. So my solution was to have these people buy the typewriters, but the shipping's so expensive on them, they don't want to pay it. They just want me to, I guess, open up a typewriter museum. And that's not going to happen because I'm not a fan of typewriters. So I'm going to go out on a limb here and give you guys the payoff right up front. I don't think you should. I think you shouldn't destroy items, but we're going to continue reading. As described in the article in Insider, a video production company amassed over 100 VHS copies of an obscure 1980s movie named Nuki. Red Letter Media CEO Mike and his partners selected the best sealed copy of the film, sent it off to be professionally graded, then proceeded to give the remaining VHS tapes the Fargo treatment by feeding them into a wood chipper. Let's edit in a clip of Fargo, what they're talking about right here. The result was an eBay auction that realized over $80,000 for the last known remaining VHS copy of Nuki. According to the Red Letter Media, all proceeds from the auction were going to charity. You know, I looked on eBay and I could not find that auction anywhere. This article is from January 15th, 2023, so I don't know if eBay yanked the item off of their website because of it being a bad publicity for the site, but it's not there. But I will say that I did do some research and I checked the solds over the past 2 years, and I can tell you that this movie is trending upwards. I will try to pop in right here, like a copy of what it looks like. So pop right there. You guys can kind of see if you find it while you're out. They sell for like 50, 60, some of them $100, $200 a copy. It just depends on how good your copy is. I couldn't find any that were factory sealed, so there is that. The article continues to say it appears that Nuki's stunt may have been done for a satirical purpose and for publicity, since there doesn't appear to have been any demand for the movie, but it could result in other people following their lead while it comes to other items. For true collectors, it would be heartbreaking to think that items they loved were being destroyed unless they were one of the few who owned one, in which cases perhaps they wouldn't be glum to see its value rise. I will say, doing my research, that there was a demand for this movie. Now, maybe the person writing this article doesn't think that 20 or 30 bucks for a movie is worth a bunch, or that's high demand, and maybe they're right. Now the movie does fetch upwards of $100 to $200, I guess. So maybe that is an increased demand for the movie, but I'm going to say that like any VHS tape that you can get 20 or 30 bucks out of, that's pretty awesome. I would sell them all day long. I would sell every copy of Nuki that I could find. better get it right. Nuki, not Nucky. Nuki or whatever. The other one that means you're doing the Then I get the knife. I did it all for the Nuki. And yeah, so I would sell these VHS tapes all day long. It said, we first saw the online sellers discussing this practice in Dom Primetime Treasure Hunter on YouTube's Facebook group. As one reseller noted, there may be no need to destroy other copies of a collectible if the seller has possession of them. It might be smarter to sell them one at a time over time, which is considered to be the best practice by many resellers, which is fine. I mean, if you control the supply, you can drizzle them out any way that you want. You can slowly release one a year onto the market and create your own scarcity. So yeah, there's no need probably to destroy them. That's really a great idea. A more common version of the increased scarcity to boost prices phenomenon seems to happen every holiday season. Going back decades, in the 1996 secondary resellers emptied retail shelves of the Tickle Me Elmo, oh my god, do I remember that, Elmo doll, causing not only panic amongst parents looking for the Sesame Street character to put under their Christmas tree, but inflating the prices from around $30 retail to thousands of dollars online. Unfortunately, I did not get into the Tickle Me Elmo craze. That was like, I want to say that was 97, 98, I believe. And I was still in high school, and I didn't really know that they were that rare. But looking forward, I thought when they came out with the next Tickle Me Elmo that I would make a bunch of money. So I ended up going around and buying up just an absolute horde of these Tickle Me Elmos. I probably had 50 or 60 of them sitting in my room, and I sold probably 20 of them. Didn't make hardly any money on them, and the rest of them I took back, which I know you're not supposed to take stuff back. Is if you're going to do retail arbitrage, you're not supposed to take them back. But I was like 21 at the time, and that was a lot of money, and I wasn't going to set on them until I could get them sold, because price had tanked and they were just trash. And I took them back. Took them back to different Walmarts. I didn't take them all back to one Walmart, but I broke them up. I had like probably 40 of them left, and I took 10 to one Walmart, 10 to another Walmart, and then I was like, I'm returning all 20 of these to the next Walmart. And that they were sitting on the shelf for quite a while. I do feel bad. I feel some remorse for that. That was not good. I was a bad John. I was a very bad John. But I've learned my lesson since then, and I don't really do a whole lot of RA anymore. Beanie Babies even had that model built in, offering limited quantities of each toy, a model that other manufacturers have copied. Once items are out in the wild, what ethical standards should you adhere to? What's the best way to boost the selling prices of a collectible? And is there a line that should be crossed? So, what do you guys think about the video? What do you think about the topic, I guess? Is it okay to actually like destroy items to make them more scarce? I say no, and you're more than welcome to put any comment down below that you like. I'm not going to beat you up. I'm not going to tell you you're wrong. This is just my personal ethics, my personal moral fabric. I don't think that destroying items is the best way to go. Now, I will part out like old computers, and I will cut the keys off of typewriters, and I'll continue to do that until the good Lord takes me home. But what I can say is that what you do for your business model is up to you. And, you know, with like this movie Nuki, nobody even knew about it until, you know, somebody bought up a bunch of copies of it and started throwing them through a wood chipper. So, I don't know. I'm not going to tell you what to do. I'm just going to tell you that it's hard to make money, and any way you can get some kind of get ahead in this game, I mean, do what you got to do, bro. Do what you got to do. So we're going to read some of the comments from this comment section of the article. There's some pretty interesting comments down below. So we're going to switch back over to screen share, and we're going to read a couple of comments here real quick. This one by Paul W. is pretty interesting. It's a different take on it. It says, I have bought surplus military lots with thousands of identical items. Once I have sold them for a year, so I estimate how many more I can sell in the next 5 years, and anything beyond that goes into a landfill. Storage costs are high in this area, Seattle. No need to allow my cost of goods to rise due to storage costs. So, I mean, what he's saying is that he sells the item for a year. If he sells 400 items, then what he does is over the next 5 years, he realizes he's going to sell probably 2,000 of those items. So if he has like 6,000 of them, I guess the other 4,000 go to the landfill, and he just keeps the items that he sells for, for the next 5 years. I mean, you could sell two, maybe like two of them, and maybe lower your price a little bit, or raise your price just a hair. I don't know. There seems to be a better way than just throwing this stuff away and throwing it into a landfill. I'm not a fan of that. Probably some of the best advice that I see comes from Fried Chicken Addiction. It says, scarcity doesn't add value, demand does. And that's exactly right, because people will chase a trend, and they will chase, it's like cryptocurrency. And don't come after me, cryptocurrency guys. I understand you love your cryptocurrency, but there's the ebbs and flows, and when someone artificially raises demand because they try to make it more popular than what it is, you're exactly right. The demand may go up temporarily, but it's always going to settle back down. Okay, Champagne Video seems to sum everything up real nice here. I'm going to read it in their own words. It says, the Nuki video was 100% for satirical purpose. Anyone reporting on it that makes it seem like that was a matter of debate either didn't watch the video or is deliberately misinterpreting their message to make write a more provocative article. Red Letter Media's Nuke video was about a VHS collector, and especially about how ridiculous the VHS grading services are. There is essentially an artificial bubble around VHS, like there have been around retro video games and other collectibles in the past 3 years. The grading services are trying to convince people there's a huge demand, so people will send them money to grade their tapes. Honestly, articles like this are a big reason why the collectibles market is kind of a ripoff these days. Anytime a VHS of Jurassic Park or whatever sells for $100,000, probably because someone in the VHS grading sold it to themselves, blogs eat it up and publish a ton of clickbait articles that add to the perception that worthless tapes have a value without digging into it. If you're going to write about topics like this, you should probably be more critical. Nobody believes destroying copies of something deliberately makes any sense at all, but you phrase the headline like it's an open-ended question, and I'm sure that helps get some clicks though. Well, brother, I do agree with a lot of what you said, but man, it's all about them views, bro. It's all about them clicks. I tell you what, I could make this video, I can make two titles for this video. I can make one salacious. I can make one just where it just reaches out and smacks your mom, and you're going to click on it, and you're going to read it, and you're going to listen to it. But if I make one that says, that isn't as salacious, it's just basic, it's just boring and dull, you're not going to watch it. You're not going to watch it. So at the end of the day, I'm going to throw some shade. At the end of the day, it's not my fault. It's not other content creators' fault. It's the people that promote and constantly click on these clickbait titles. We have to. If we don't, you won't watch, you won't subscribe, and you'll be like me. For 5-6 years, I had this idea. Man, John, you can't make these titles. You can't make clickbait titles. And they're not clickbait because there's always some form of truth to what I'm talking about in the video. But you got to make it to where people click on it. You got to make them thumbnails juicy, and you got to make that title just like juicy so that people will watch your video. Because if not, then they won't. So it's kind of hard to blame e-commerce bites for titling it the way they did. I clicked on the video. I clicked on the news article, and I'm doing a video about it. So it worked. It worked, people. It worked. So that's all I really have to say. Let me know down below what you think. Hope you guys have a good day. Keep on digging. Keep on picking, and remember, the family that picks together sticks together. God bless you guys.